Another one with a double. Still in the building.
Talking quarterbacks.
Talking quarterbacks, and let's pull the curtain back because
poor evaluation.
Oh man, this was horrible. All right, so look, we're doing a draft. We're drafting quarterbacks that we think can win the Super Bowl this year. This is only 2022. We're gonna do a draft. We're going snake draft.
Yes.
Oh, you bastard!
Why? How could that's fair? Like who doesn't do a snake draft?
So we're doing a snake draft, and we're accounting two things. How good are they? And then the team that they're on, can the team help carry them to the Super Bowl? And we compiled a list of 14 names.
We had it at 13.
We had it at 13. And right before we start recording, Alan is like, I'm off Tennessee because Tannehill's not on this list. And he's like, I'm off Tennessee.
I'm off Tannehill because the playoff game.
Yeah, because the playoff game. And then I'm like, oh my God, bro, we didn't put Burrow in the list.
Not good.
Joe B, baby.
We spent months talking about how much we love Joey B, and we forgot about him.
Oh, yeah. But all right, so he's on this list. Now, we're going to go in order. You're the guest. I'll give you the first pick.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, now that it's snake draft, I want to take two. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like it has to be snake draft. Otherwise, how can it be even?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go 10. We're going to pick 10. And we're going to give a case for each one. If you want, I'll have the odds up as well, so we could talk about like the odds too. That'll be fun to have. NFL Super Bowl odds. How do you feel about the quarterbacks right now in the league?
I feel like the strongest it's ever been. Like I think we're really in a golden age right now.
It's funny because we were a little bit concerned what happens when Ben and Peyton and Brady all go.
Breeze.
Obviously, we were thinking about Breeze.
Yeah.
We were thinking about this a couple years ago. Brady's still here.
Yeah.
Ben was still here, but not really here.
Yeah.
And now you're looking at this new crop of quarterbacks that have come in, and it's just amazing.
How can you not be excited?
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
And now it's the wildest thing is in the past it used to be like, he's too young to win a championship. Like he got to be in the league 4 or 5 years. Now it's like, nah, you're two, we could win.
The guy we forgot almost done it.
Yeah.
And the other fascinating aspect of this is that majority of them are in one conference.
Off the top, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 14 are in the AFC. Bro.
And 2 of the ones in the NFC are a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
We'll get to.
Yeah. All right. So with each pick, this is who we think can win the Super Bowl this year and what quarterbacks we think can based on how good they are and if the team can carry them. Alan, first pick for you. Who you got?
Going Josh Allen. I just love that roster. I love the progression of Josh Allen. I think he's every year becoming more and more composed as a quarterback. He came into the league very erratic, someone that had this huge arm but just didn't have that control. Like you saw the overthrows. But I would say ever since 2020, he's just become so much more polished, and he just is always in command. Like the true elite quarterbacks are always in command of the pocket. Even when the pressure comes in, they know how to step out. They know how to make the right decision, whether it's with their arm or with their legs. It's impossible not to love Josh Allen, and right now I think he's a complete package.
It's I think that he's the right answer. We talked a while back about like what quarterback would you take if you knew they had their A game? I think it's hard to not pick Allen. Doesn't care where he got to go play. Weather don't bother him at all. We've seen that. Could go toe-to-toe with anybody. And we saw his A game with the Chiefs. Like, that was an amazing performance. And it sucks that it went down the way it does because I feel like people would have been talking about that even more. I also feel like the best team didn't win the Super Bowl last year. For as much as I capitalized on the Rams' profits, I thought Buffalo might have been the best team. So I'm excited for them this year. And I think that's the case. He's number one. I think he's the right answer for this one. All right. Number 2. My pick. I don't know if it surprises you, but because of the conference he's in, I'm going Brady.
Makes sense.
I mean,
you're not.
some people voted him for MVP last year.
Right.
He had better numbers than Rodgers, which just brought Rodgers so efficient. And I think that the NFC, I honestly think it's Tampa Bay versus the field. I really do. And I know I was spearheading the Rams bandwagon last year, and I'm still on the bandwagon. I think they have a great team. They brought a lot of their guys back. They brought some fresh blood in also. It's just hard. I'm factoring in the idea that it's hard for you to repeat. And now you have a bullseye on your back. And is Stafford as hungry as he was last year? Is Donald as hungry as he was last year? It sounds good what they're saying, but I think you're looking at Tampa Bay. If all the Antonio Brown stuff don't go down, a couple other guys being hurt, don't have Wirfs at 100%, you're probably looking at them going back to the Super Bowl in the NFC. So, to me, my number 2 pick is Tom Brady, which is crazy. He's going to be 45 in August. Still doing it, just unretired. But if it's not Allen, I think it's the Bucs and Brady right now. And look, they're the second favorite to win the Super Bowl. So for me, that's my answer. Thoughts? Was that where you would have went?
Hell of a pick. Definitely considered it, but I've been on Buffalo for a bit now.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like if I had went first.
Oh.
Do you think Tampa is the right choice at number 2 and Tom Brady is the right choice at number 2?
The way you broke it down, you convinced me. At first, I was debating with a few, but based on that conference and just how consistent Brady has been, you got to go with him.
And think about the division, right? They're the biggest favorite. He's the longest tenured quarterback in that division. How crazy
He could probably take 2 weeks off if he wants to, and they'll win that division. Maybe even longer.
I mean, like, what odds would I have to give you for me to say that they're going to lose one game in that division? Like, I don't see it. I know the Saints like have their number, but come on now. Like, that's, Sean Payton isn't there anymore.
Right. Well, Dennis Allen deserves a lot of credit for that, but I don't know if that Saints defense could be the same.
So, the Super Bowl favorite on WinBet right now is Buffalo. Then it's the Bucs. So we kind of went chalk there. All right. I think this is going to surprise you. My third pick. You're probably going to call me a fanboy, but I'm going Justin Herbert.
It's a hell of a stretch. You believe in a lot of things.
Love me some Herbert. I like the Chargers. I like the moves they made in the offseason. I think he elevates everyone on the team.
Definitely.
And I think he's in that category with Allen and Mahomes as far as like the wild plays. I mean, that one game against, I believe it was Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football, he had like 85 yards rushing on the ground too. He doesn't run often, but when he does, it's smart running. It's sliding. It's not putting his body at risk.
He could evade pressure.
Yeah, he's mobile enough. He's super aware in the pocket too. And this is also me being super bullish on the Chargers and Justin Herbert. But I think Herbert, to me, we still haven't seen him in the playoffs, which is very fair. But I think all things considered, with the weapons that he has on his team, I'm going Herbert with my third pick.
Nobody's denying the talent. I think a lot of it just comes down to the coaching staff. Because I think the coaching staff ultimately let down the Chargers.
Is that your hesitation in that?
Absolutely. I have no trepidation about Herbert, the player. Everything you've seen from him, there's no reason to believe why he's not a top 3 QB. It's just a matter of the organization and just will Lombardi put the playmakers in the best position to succeed? Will Brandon Staley build more of a disciplined defense where they could actually stop the run and not be so reliant on turnovers? I think that's what ultimately comes down to the Chargers. But Herbert, like, just watch that game against the Raiders. Like, some of the throws he was making on 4th down, just unbelievable. And you've seen over the past 2 years, not just the Raiders game. Like, you watch the film, he just blows you away week in, week out.
Yeah. Where are you going with number 4?
Still going Mahomes.
Yeah.
I have to. Just I'm gonna believe in Andy Reid, and it wouldn't surprise me if they found a gem in the 1st or 2nd round, depending on where they want to draft. Just that Mahomes Andy Reid connection, still Kelsey there. It's just something that it's hard to go against, and I'm interested to see how Mahomes responds to. I think this is the first time in his career he's facing real adversity, because I gave Mahomes a bit of a pass after the Bucs Super Bowl because there's really nothing he could have done in that game. When you get pressure from every angle, like, it was a battle for survival. But I thought that Bengals game, he crumbled in the second half. A lot of questionable passes that ultimately got picked off. He looked very jittery in the pocket, which you never see from Mahomes. I know he had a bit of that funk in October, but look, that happens to players. But what happened in that Bengals game, that was a real bad look. So to me, this is the first time where he has to respond, and now he's doing it without the most terrifying playmaker in the league. So there's definitely some adversity going into the season, but how can you bet against him? So I'll gladly take Pat Mahomes, even if the Chiefs are looking a little depleted on paper right now. I think you still believe in the quarterback and coaching staff.
Now, do we feel like they're depleted because they lost Tyreek?
Yeah. Because it's just, I don't know how much you can invest in Valdez Scantling being the only detail. Like, to me, they just desperately need another receiver, whether they trade for a player or if they draft for one, which I think they're going to go the draft route.
Yeah, man, it's interesting because Keenan Allen tweeted out, or he wrote on a social media post, I think it might have been NFL, but he's like, a lot of people are going to get exposed when Tyreek left. Now, was it him talking about Tyreek not being as good because of Mahomes? Is it Mahomes? Is it Kelsey not being able to get as open? Who knows?
Valid questions.
Yeah, it's all good takes that he had.
Yeah.
Now, I'm also thinking about it like them not re-signing Tyreek, I think extends this window in a weird way because now you can maneuver. Like, look, Tyreek Hill, he's had injury luck. He hasn't missed any time. Mm-hmm. When his speed goes, do we know what kind of receiver he's going to be? Like, Devontae Adams, I feel like he still has 4 or 5 Devontae Adams years left because he's a crisp route runner, amazing hands, and he's not really a 4.25 guy. I don't know what he runs, but he's never a guy who wowed you running a 40.
He knows how to use his body, too.
Exactly.
He shields away from defenders. You rarely see him get called for pushing off. Like, he's just such a savvy player.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to describe him. So I think with Mahomes, like, can you get good production from MVS, another guy who's been in and out of lineups? And say what you want about Juju, I like it because I think it's a cheap contract. He's betting on himself, 1-year deal, and he likes to block. He's a blocking wide receiver, and I think in this role he could flourish.
That offense will get the best out of him.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't get the best out of him there,
yikes.
But you're right. If they draft someone in the first round, or who knows, they might make a move for one of these guys. Like DK Metcalf or something. I know that was discussed also. But let's see. I think Mahomes, like, some people are super off the Chiefs. I'm off the Chiefs, but not to the point where, like, they're not making the playoffs. Like, I want to get that crazy because you still got number 15 and Andy Reid. All right, what's your next pick?
Now it gets tough.
Now, question real fast.
Yeah.
Would you have taken Mahomes over Herbert?
Yes.
Would you have taken Mahomes over Brady?
Given the criteria of this game, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
That's how I look at it.
Because I do think that's the 4, though. Would you agree? Or is your
There's still one more.
Okay. So is it coming up now?
I really wish they would trade for one of these receivers, even like a Tyler Lockett. I think the Chiefs could probably trade for a Tyler Lockett, but whatever. I'm going to bet on regular season success and back-to-back MVPs. I'll go Rodgers. Even though I'm a bit reluctant, I'm not liking the on paper that offense looks very sketchy, but I'm thinking Green Bay has a move up their sleeve. I just think that organization realizes, okay, we did everything we can to bring Rodgers back. We can't go into the season with this skill position players. Even though we have one of the best 1-2 combos at the backfield, just there needs to be a receiver there. So I'll back on Rodgers. No one's going to question the talent. It's just a matter of what on earth they're going to do at the receiver position.
I mean, you got to think they're going to do something, right? Like, they can't go in there with, now he's lost his 2 top wide receivers.
Because we've been saying for years how they need a receiver, and this is while they had Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Now it's real. There has to be some real urgency.
And if you're Rodgers, do you think you re-sign there if you didn't buy into their plan, or do you think he just chased a check?
It's hard to say.
Because he knew Adams wasn't going to come back.
Yeah, it's hard to make a definitive statement on that.
But what do you think, though? What would you?
I think he was chasing a check.
I kind of feel that way,
yeah.
too. At this point,
if I had to lean towards something, if he wasn't able to go to Denver, I don't know where else he would have gone.
Was it like 150 guaranteed?
Yeah.
At 38 years old?
Right. So I'm still going on. I'm reluctant with the pick, but I just think you got to bet on talent. And like we talked about the NFC before, there's maybe 4 Super Bowl caliber teams, and that's a stretch.
Yeah, I think that's a stretch. Yeah. I mean, if it's not, I would put them behind. I think it's Tampa, the Rams, and then them.
Yeah,
and
the Niners you consider. That's it though.
Yeah, but I think because of the quarterback. Like I think Green Bay is only in that discussion because they have Rodgers.
Okay, I'm just saying I put San Fran in the Super Bowl conversation. Yeah,
San Fran. Okay.
Yeah, rest of NFC, not a chance.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned San Fran. If you go based on the odds, right? We've given the first, second, third, fifth, and eighth favorite. Those are the quarterbacks that we've listed so far.
I assume eighth Herbert.
Eighth is Herbert, yeah. My pick, number 6 overall here. I feel like it got to be Burrow.
Okay.
Which is funny because we started off this pod saying that we forgot about him, right?
Hey, but you're it's another pick where you're going with your guys.
So, but I love what they did this offseason. They addressed the offensive line because you don't really need any weapons. You're bringing everyone back. You lost Uzoma, but
very replaceable.
Very replaceable.
And I think they could do something with Hayden Hurst. I know Hayden Hurst is a bit of a limited player, but he could do some stuff.
You could, and who knows if they address it in the draft, if they get like a second or third round pick. We never know. But I think offensively, the biggest need was because you got the running back, you got the 3 receivers. That's not an issue. You address the offensive line. They did what Kansas City did last year. Mahomes in that Super Bowl running for his life. What do? Revamp the offensive line. Burrow got sacked, I think, 70 or 71 times, the most ever by a quarterback. And then in that second half of the Super Bowl was getting obliterated. Right. So you're just offensive line.
I think the slight difference was Kansas City literally broke the bank. While Cincinnati wanted to approach like we just need professional players.
Yeah. We need some stable guys that are upgrades. Yeah. That's it.
But I think Cincinnati's preparing for future because they know they're gonna have to be spending a lot of money on.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they spend a first round pick on an offensive lineman if they can get one. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Obviously, the ones that you would want are closer in the top 10, and you're not drafting in the top 10. But I think Burrow is my 6th pick of a guy who I think could win a Super Bowl this year. And a lot of it is because, obviously we just saw it.
You got bang on the talent, too.
Yeah. And the talent. And also I feel like that division.
It's competitive, but there's a lot of flaws.
There's a lot of flaws, and I really think the schedule is going to say a lot of how that division plays out. Because we don't know what's going to happen at quarterback with Pittsburgh. When is Cincinnati going to play Pittsburgh? When are you going to play Cleveland? So, to me, I'm going Burrow 6th. Then it's me again, right?
Yes.
Okay, this one's going to be a little bit of a take. But can you let me explain myself before you shit on it?
I just wonder if you're going to take one of your guys. Because right now, you're on a bit of a streak
with taking guys. I'm on a little bit of a streak taking my guys, right? No, Brady's not my guy.
I said streak meaning Herbert. Okay, you got 2.
Derek Carr.
Okay, I wouldn't consider that one of your guys, but okay, that's a bit of a pick.
So I think Carr is going into this season with the best offense he's ever played with because of Devontae Adams. We got Hunter Renfrow, you got Darren Waller, you got a running back that you trust and is capable. Offensive line, I still would like them to address it, and who knows what they do in the draft. They went and got Chandler Jones also to go opposite of Max Crosby, who got paid also, and he had an all-pro caliber season, or I think he might have been an all-pro. And, it sucks because the AFC is so stacked, and they might end up finishing 4th in their division, and they could make the playoffs, but that conference is just so stacked. But there's something about Carr, man. I think he's going to have a monster year this year with Devontae Adams. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if I saw him win a Super Bowl.
Wow. Damn, you are a full believer.
Yeah, I'm taking him 7th now in this.
I assume also you're a believer in Josh McDaniels because I think that's a big factor in this.
I like Josh McDaniels. I think with Brady, obviously you have Brady, but I think the tail end of Brady, he really drew up great game plans for what they had, right? They didn't have the explosive guys. Yeah. So you cater to what you have. And now I think you're going from what you had last year with the Patriots to now you're looking like, oh, shit, I got Waller. I love tight ends, right? I got Renfro. I love the slot wide receivers, especially those white guys. And then you got an alpha in Devontae Adams.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's ever going to question Josh McDaniels, the play caller, the schematic, the mastermind. What we're questioning Josh McDaniels on is how has he evolved in the past decade, because that Denver run was a disaster, and he admitted that he was in over his head. So what has he learned over the past decade, and what's going to prepare him to be a head coach now? I think those are things you have to question, especially in such a stacked conference. So that's one thing, because with Derek Carr, he's the king of adversity. This guy, he faces adversity and he overcomes every bit of it. But now learning a new offense and someone that's a very demanding coach in Josh McDaniels, I think it's going to be quite an interesting fit. Yeah.
Now, what about like McDaniels is 45 now. He was like one of the younger coaches ever hired back then, and also like he had Tebow, man, like a little limited.
No, he had Color and Marshall in his prime, and he said, "You're both expendable. I don't need you." So
the way he manages. You're right. Okay, I get that.
He broke down a pretty promising young core. Remember, he was all in on Matt Castle, which yikes.
Look, I think Carr might go down as like the best fucking fourth QB in a division ever.
There's no doubt about it.
Because usually there's a quarterback where you're like, all right, at least you play them twice a year. But it's like, Carr is.
I mean, schedule's coming out soon. AFC, they better have every primetime game imaginable. That's all I'm going to say.
The AFC West, right?
Yeah, AFC West, excuse me. AFC West, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Put them on every week. I don't care.
Yeah, remember the funny joke? I think it was Robert Mays from The Ringer. He put out about
Athletic now.
Oh, the Athletic now. How he said the Seahawks never play normal games.
So that was Kevin Clark.
Yeah, Clark. So it was someone from The Ringer. Yeah. But like, they never play normal games. So now Denver's probably not going to play normal games because Russ is there. So yeah, I'm going with Carr, man. What you got at 8?
I think that was a reach.
Yeah,
I'm glad you took that, because I was not considering Carr. I think you missed on 2. First one being Matthew Stafford. I think that's a layup given the
especially
offense.
with the offense, and also you're right,
roster and I think
and the conference. I mean,
conference too, and the coach. I know Stafford some real ugly interceptions this year, but maybe there'll be some regression with that. He'll play with a smarter offensive line. I know they lost Whitworth, but he was like 40 at this point, so I think maybe the offensive line will get better. I just think Stafford going to year 2, having a better understanding of McVay's offense, I think he could actually have an even better year. I don't know if that will equate to the Rams winning another Super Bowl, but I think Stafford will be more efficient as a passer rather than someone that really became questionable with the ball in his hands. Like some of those interceptions were brutal. Like I don't think a quarterback threw more interceptions in their own territory than Stafford. So he put the Rams in some pretty disadvantageous positions. So I think a year more with McVay and him just being a tremendous quarterback, someone we know about his arm. I think he could have an even better year. So Stafford, yes, and I think Lamar. I'm a believer in the Ravens. I think the Ravens are due for a bounce back year. I'm not sure if they can necessarily compete for a Super Bowl, but I trust in that foundation. I think both Andrews and Brown, another year they'll grow into their roles, and I think the Ravens, they're bound to get healthy. I don't think the team got hit more worse injuries
the
than
season
that.
From hell. Yeah, and they're going to play a 4th place schedule,
right?
Which is something they haven't done under the Lamar.
They were worse than the Browns.
Yeah, they came in 4th, bro.
Even worse than the Browns. Oh wow. So obviously Steelers were in 2nd. Damn it! Look that up. I'm not sure about that.
I'm almost positive
they were worse than the Browns.
Yeah, because I was looking at this recently. Yeah, they had the same record.
Wow.
But based off
tiebreaker
division record, they went 1-5 in the division.
Yikes! Yeah, those Steelers losses were rough.
Ended the year on a 6-game losing streak.
That's things just burned down.
Bro, they were the 1 seed at one point. Like late in the year. Yeah.
Wow.
And then
they just fell off.
Shit just fell apart, man.
So I think the Ravens are due for a bit of a resurgent year. So I'll go Lamar. I'm happy I got those 2.
They're very interesting, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like the way too early predictions and takes. Again, I think the schedule means more this year than ever before, especially in the AFC. Like that's just gonna really matter. Like if you're Baltimore and your first 6 games are against like juggernauts, you're gonna be like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like you want to have everything spaced out, and I think that's a team to definitely keep an eye on.
So I got my 5. Now you got 2.
Should I just name the other quarterbacks that we have on this list?
No, you make your picks.
Make my pick?
Yeah, make your picks.
I think I'm going to go Russ.
I figured you would do that.
I think I'm gonna go Russ. Dude, I picked
Damn,
everyone.
you got three.
I got 3 in the AFC West. Russ going to Denver. Obviously, massive upgrade for him, for the team. I wouldn't say his weapons. I think DK and Lockett. I think are, if not Evans and Godwin, I would put them as like the second best.
Yeah,
duo.
I think with Denver, you're trusting more the coaching staff, seeing what Nathaniel Hackett will do.
The coaching staff, the defense.
Because we know how questionable it was in Seattle.
The motivation now for the players, understanding now, like, oh shit, it's not always gonna be a 3 and out.
Yeah.
Sutton is an upgrade. Judy's an upgrade. Hamler, when he comes back, is gonna be an upgrade. The running backs. So I think that's an upgrade across the board. And Russ changed the scenery, going now to a contender. I always like that when you get that grizzled vet that goes from a pretender or a team that's gonna win 6 games to now you have a chance to win a championship. Like based on the odds, they're in the discussion. They're a top 10 favorite. And it's just the pedigree. Like Russ, I think, is one of the best quarterbacks that I've seen play. And prior to last season, he's durable. He's always available. And I think Russ is my last pick.
We got one more.
No, that was 10.
Really?
Yeah, so the order went, you had Allen.
Yeah.
I had Brady and Herbert. You had Mahomes. You had Rodgers. I had Burrow. I had Carr. You had Stafford and Lamar, and I had Russ.
There we go.
Now I'm gonna have Alex make a graphic for us, and we'll see like who.
This isn't a math podcast, as you know.
who the fans agree with in the 5. Now, honorable mention on the list. You said Dak Prescott. I couldn't disagree with you.
I mean, you have to put him in that for contention. I don't think he's top 10.
I think as a quarterback, I would agree.
Yeah,
but
that situation is very problematic. Sean Payton, January 2023.
Yeah.
Just get ready for the unveiling.
And that's when it's going to get rough for me. But nah, I think Prescott as a quarterback, absolutely. Dallas Cowboys, no chance. Yeah. No chance. I don't believe it until proven otherwise. Win a playoff game.
See,
win 2 playoff games.
I feel the same way about Kyler Murray in Arizona right now. I have zero faith in that.
Who was not on our list, by the way.
Yeah.
We didn't put him on the list. The other 2 names we had, I wanted to put your boy Matt Ryan. And you disagreed.
I'm a believer in it's just when a quarterback has taken, especially at his age, 40 sacks in the last 4 seasons, dating back to 2018. Think about that.
This is each season.
Yeah, he's taken 40 sacks or more, and we're not even counting the hits. Like, even though he's the best alliance player ever play with, and the team is really well put together, I'm just worried, can Matt Ryan in January win 2 games? I think he'll win the game, absolutely. Like I said it right away after that Tennessee game. You put Matt Ryan on the Titans, they're beating the Bengals in that game. But can he do it 2 games in a row? It'd be hard, but look, I think he's still more than capable of doing it. It's just I wouldn't bank on it.
You would obviously know more than me when it comes to Matt Ryan and his tenure in Atlanta. But where would you rank the Colts going into 2022 as far as teams he's played with? What a fucking question, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
And I'm talking about top to bottom complete teams because I think they're a borderline top 10 to 12 defense when everyone's healthy. Offensive line, they probably have the best unit in the league.
Yeah.
Running back, absolutely.
But you're talking about overall team.
I'm talking about complete team, head coach, like everything.
Because they're not better than, obviously, 2016 is 2016. 2012, that was when they had Julio entering his second year, Roddy in his prime, and Gonzalez. So that was like the scariest trio in the league.
So probably like from a weapon standpoint.
Yeah.
That
So I don't think 2016 and 2012, they're not touching. I think I put them around that 2010. So 2010, Atlanta was a 1 seed, but they kind of overachieved. They were at 13-3. That's when Rodgers went to Georgia Dome, smoked them. He had, I think, 4 incompletions the whole game. So I would say that 2010 team where I think that was prime Michael Turner,
Dude,
prime John Abraham.
Packers were 4-point underdogs, and I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, no, I knew. Seeing that 6 seed Green Bay, I was like, oh, this is dangerous. The thing is, so many people were worried that year. Of coming from a Falcon fan perspective, they did not want to see the Eagles in there because this one Vic was there. We're just like, they can't. The fan base cannot take Vic going to the Georgia Dome and beating them. It was just because people were still recovering because Vic was a god down there. And even though Matt Ryan, 3rd year, 3 straight winning seasons, 2nd playoff appearance, like, okay, Matt Ryan's clearly the guy. It's just they're still not emotionally. So if Philly went to Atlanta, so that's why people are a little bit sad because Green Bay knocked out
the Eagles
in the 1st round. So people are like, all right, at least they're out. God damn, this Green Bay team is really good. And then, 3rd quarter. Oh, no, they can't get stopped. Literally, the only stop they had that game was Greg Jennings he fumbled, and Brent Grimes recovered it. That was peak Brent Grimes, too, 2010. But back to the question, I would say I think this Colts team is, on paper, the 3rd best team. 2016 Falcons, legendary. 2012, really good. Could have made the Super Bowl, but they kind of crumbled against that Niners team. That was the one year Kaepernick made the Super Bowl. So. But no, this is a really good Colts team, and they're built to win. Like, I would actually, I'm actually forgetting the 2017 Falcons. So this was the year after the Super Bowl. I actually would kind of put 2017 Falcons. That was when they lost to that Nick Foles team. But they were the team. Right. They were the only team to keep them under 20. Like, Foles went crazy against the Vikings and Pats, but that Falcons game was rough. I was there for that, which one of the best experiences of my life. Even though the game was ugly, it was like a real fulfilling moment in my life. But the game itself, like the Eagles, disgusting offensively. Yeah. But the Falcons, Jay just couldn't score in the red zone. Peak Steve Sarkisian. So maybe that's what. Maybe the fact that they have Sarkisian drops it down list. So you know what? I'll pick just pure because I just think Sarkisian. Look, I know he's doing well in college, but it's not an NFL guy for me. So I'll put this Colts team number 3 for teams Matt Ryan's play. Okay. But I can't, as much as I want to talk them up, especially now they got Gilmore, which was huge.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time seeing the Colts as a Super Bowl contender.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. But I was thinking
they need receivers.
Yeah, they do. Yo, Julio?
I'm getting the whole gear if it happens.
Dude.
Yeah. Even if they get Odell, I'm all in.
That'd be fire, man. That'd be fire.